Now this is, they're called faux postage stamps, and I picked out a few just pieces of designer series paper. This one here was the new begonia, what is it? You know what I mean, stamp that I've just cut the centre out of it because it was just a random one that I wasn't going to use. And then to make the stamp, what I would do would be get a piece of, doesn't even matter if it's just paperweight. This is actually on card. And then put it onto probably a white background. Then you've probably got a pair of these scissors we used as kids, and you just cut around it, and there's your stamp. So I've got a butterfly here, which is, you know, cut out of a magazine or whatever, and this is going on to some French dictionary page, and again I'll just cut out around there. They can be any size, but it really needs that postage stamp edge on it. This one's a funny shape for a stamp, but it'll do. And then I've got one here that I did earlier, which was just a piece of last year's Christmas paper, which was absolutely beautiful. And I've used a random stamp that I've got that is ideal for postage, and even and I've got another one there that's quite good for postage. I bought it from somewhere that you can't get it from, unfortunately, so I can't pass that on to you. Then here's another piece of designer series paper that was awfully pretty. And if I stick that onto, a piece of similar coloured, or complementary coloured, cut that one out. These scissors, they tend to want to stick. You can cut as close to the image as you want to, or leave more of a gap. I'll cut it a bit closer. It's sort of, and that works well. I've got a couple of Christmas trees that I cut out of some designer series paper, and this would look quite good on newsprint. It just depends if you want it to look vintage or not. Here's a bit of music paper that would just about fit. I moved it across there. Music and Christmas, it just seems to go together. It's just a scrap. Cut around that. Doesn't even matter that it's not complete, because I love anything vintage, so if it looks a bit kind of ripped and torn, and I would probably even go around that and sponge it. I don't know whether I like it on the music paper. I think it looks a bit, so that's okay. I'll take it off. I have got just a plain, this is just a punched out kind of label. That might work. It almost needs a black layer under it. Now I've got a piece, it's not black, but this might work under it. Let's have a look. I'll stick it down again, hope for the best. So I rip it off again, it's probably going to not work a third time. This might just be good just the way it is. Cut, snip, and snip. Yeah, that looks all right. That's cool. What else can we do? I won't do too many. I'm just wanting to give you the idea. I've got another cute little piece of designer series paper here, and that could go onto a piece of this designer series paper. All just scraps out of my big pile of what I call it. You know, you've seen the box of bits, and any die cuts that are left over, stamped images that I think I might be able to use in the future, I keep. That looks cool. And I mean that I could stamp some of these. Where's my memento? And maybe my Paris stamp, because it is my favourite. I could put that in the corner there. Doesn't overly show, but it just takes a little bit of the it just gives it a little bit of grunge. And I've got this piece of leftover designer series paper. I think that would look cool. And that would probably also look good on this one, because the colour's terrific. Back in my scraps for another purpose. I mean, what could be quicker and easier, right? Now I've got a piece here that it was a collage that I made, and I thought that would go onto, this is just left with straight cuts, and then postage stamp the piece that you lay it onto. Looks quite good on book page. Cut that back, because this is not the feature, it's just backing it. And I love it with the number on it, and that again could be stamped. Even a little one, remember this, that nice designer series paper that was Stampin' Up. That could go onto that piece, which is a really good colour with it. That could go onto that. Yeah, that would possibly work. Ticket that I was going, or the label that I was going to use on the other one. A bit of a room. Now we'll get rid of that edge. Even a very small edge, you can create that postage stamp look. Some are better than others, of course. And then I've got this one here, which I stamped from the Gallery Blooms set. Stamped it on a bit of paper. It's not even card, just out of a notebook. I think that would look quite good on book page. Just trying to give you ideas really of what you can do. Oops. That looks cool, and that's got that post stamp again. And then I thought that might even look quite good with, I've got this set of French numbers that I absolutely love. And just die cut and put, oops, up the right way would be good. Just fussy cut, put on there, that looks good. There's another little one here that I stamped, which could go on to that, or book page. I'll use this. Okay, now we'll just snip the edges of that. Good to have a little bit of a contrast if you can. I've even got a piece of this designer series paper, which was gorgeous, and I've fussy cut out some of the flowers from the other designer series paper in the same set, and I thought that could go along there, and then that could go on to maybe even there. No, it needs to be white. Something like that. Or could it go on to book page? No, too cream. This is just a piece of paper I'm sticking this to. It's not, doesn't have to be card. In fact, it's a piece out of a brochure. That works. I'll just do a couple more because I've got some bits here that I can show you. This was one of my favourite papers last year. It was just gorgeous. Stamping Up. Lovely and vintage. And then I found a piece of this paper, which the back of it's quite nice for colour. Compliments. Cut away those edges. Bit of a crowded deck here. Get rid of those bits. So that's quite nice. But that one's not so, oh, is that vintage? Let me see what the right way up. I thought maybe even just something as simple as this, which just obviously goes with the gold foiling. That on there. I mean, anything goes, really. I even had one of the, what is it, a squirrel. I had it. See, I'd actually use this on something else. So I'll peel that dimensional back off. It's not even that critical. We'll go round it. I thought that would go on complements with that colour. Stick it down. The dimensionals don't matter, just gives the body of the, I guess it's a squirrel, a bit of like rounded. Now I'll cut that straight. I use these scissors because of my arthritis, because otherwise I would use my paper snips. And then I thought maybe onto some plain wrapping paper. As crafters, we really don't throw anything out. Anything goes, eh? And we'll trim the wrapping paper. Some of them are better than others. You'll get your favourites. But, you know, it works. And then I had this piece, which I love this paper. I like to, when I'm doing long snips, it's quite good to use a long handle pair of scissors because it means you can snip paper in one cut and you don't get a messy edge. Now that, I even wonder whether just to put that over the top of it. I know it seems silly because that paper's so beautiful. Again, this was in my box of bits. Now I can't see all that beautiful paper. And I wondered about putting this on, which was a stamped butterfly. And then that would go on to maybe book page. It's a bit busy, isn't it? Maybe the gold here. No. Not sure. I think it needs a darker background. The blue's not right. What about the other side? That would probably work. Doesn't look very straight. I'll just throw it on just so that it's probably not my favourite. But they're all pieces that would otherwise have been thrown away. Hold his wing in, cut around him, hold the other wing in. Doesn't matter if he hangs out over the top, it's all good. Right, well that kind of works, and probably like the other one, it would be quite good to stamp that one to, yeah, this would be quite good stamped. They're lovely. And what's the one I just did? Oh, this one. That'd be quite good stamped. Didn't stamp completely, but hey, it doesn't really matter. Now, the way you'd use these would be, say, on a pocket. So say this is a journal. I've just got a pad here. Say that was a journal and that was a pocket. There. You could use these to decorate the pocket, decorate the page. You'd want one the right size. And then you could add a word, or you could turn it Christmassy. What's the other side? Oh, that's that one. It doesn't even matter if it hangs over the pocket. If it was this way, it could go that way. When you're making coin envelopes, the little envelopes we did the other day that were just the 4x3s, decorate the front of it. But that's the idea of making these little faux postage stamps out of basically scrap. I hope you enjoyed that and found it of some interest or use. Thanks for watching. Bye.